7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
What a difference a player makes. A veteran. I don't know how good I thought Chris Paul was. I think he was pretty decent in his commercials. I don't know if Drake would be better from State Farm than Jake, but that's a whole other story. Chris Paul is some people call him the point guard, and that's not an East Coast accent saying guard. You know how bad people that were celebrating the Islanders win last night. We're talking about guards. No. This is a difference maker on a really, really good team. And you watched a guy last night go for 17 points and 15 assists and not turn the ball over. He's turned the ball over one time in the first two games with the ball in his hand a majority of the time. And the Phoenix Suns are nice. And last night, as Michael Malone said, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, one team wanted to be there and played with a purpose. The other team didn't, and that's why we got our ass kicked. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. I know that beatdown probably wasn't easy to watch. Michael Malone kind of summed it up from what you watched, didn't he?
He did. It's one where you look at that Nuggets team and you can question their energy and effort, but they're also just not as good as Phoenix.
And they're beat up.
The point we knew, all right, Jamal Murray's going to catch up to him at some point in time. And that's why there was so much frustration from Portland after that first round series. Like, wait, how did we lose this series? And you're seeing just a difference right now with Phoenix, the balance. That's what just kept coming to mind last night watching that basketball team. They're such a balanced basketball team. And a lot of what is happening with Chris Paul is a reminder to people that this guy is good. And he is one of the best true point guards of this era for the last 10 to 15 years. But he's been in roles where instead of being the point guard, he's been like, well, you kind of have to be the go-to guy. And that's just not necessarily his game. He can get you a bucket, but he is so good being that floor general. And at this point in his career, with the skills he still has, it is the perfect fit to be on this young, athletic, fast Suns team that can shoot, because then he can just put the ball where it needs to go. And then, oh, you do need a clutch bucket? Well, let me pull up and hit this mid-range jumper.
Or pull up and hit a three and get Michael Porter Jr. in the pick and roll and get the defensive set that I want, get the matchup that I want, and drop a three. Oh, you're not going to switch? Watch this. Now you're leaving me wide open. Splash. The balance is absolute. 6 players in double figures for the Phoenix Suns last night, but nobody more than 18. And that was Devin Booker. Booker 18, Chris Paul had 17, DeAndre Ayton had 15, Bridges had 16, Crowder had 11, and then off the bench, Craig had 10. And they are consistent, they're solid, and there's a floor general that really, I think, paces what they're doing. We talk about so often in the college game, when you get to the postseason, how it's a guard-driven game, right? I think in the NBA, it's more so been a swing, a guard forward, a swing guy, a LeBron kind of a game. But when you look back at who really runs basketball, yeah, it's nice to have a big guy, and Jokic had a terrific season. But where's the ball most of the time? Ball's not in the big guy's hands all the time. The ball's in the guard's hands. The ball's in a playmaker's hand. Now, you can have a 7-foot playmaker like Kevin Durant or a 6'9" playmaker like LeBron James, but that's where it is. And the steadying force, I think I've come to appreciate Chris Paul more in this playoffs than I probably have in his career. I thought he was nice. I thought he was a good player. I didn't believe him to be a winner. I thought he was probably a little overrated. I thought what happened with the Clippers situation, he's got to take some of the ownership of that. But what I'm watching now, man, he is everything you just said he was.
The Clippers situation, too, is when basketball started to change. And they were Lob City.
Mm-hmm.
And for Chris Paul, they could be good, but that's not a great situation being a point guard. It's you, and then the two other people I thought about was, it's Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. Those dudes can't shoot. And Blake Griffin wasn't as good of a shooter then. He kind of changed his game. But so you have a rim-running center, Blake Griffin, who also had the question marks to his career, and then it was, CP3 needs to be
more
this player that he can be, but that's not his best role. We're seeing his best role being this. It's traditional point guard, and it's just such a great fit with the Suns. And I know a lot of people question this move when Phoenix made it. Like, why would you do that? Why would you take on the salary? This guy's at the end of the career. Aren't you this young, up-and-coming team? Well, they realized this young, up-and-coming team needs a leader, and they got that guy right there.
Yeah, they do. They do. And at the back end of his career, and he was 2005, so this is what, his 16th year in the league, 15th year in the league. He is all that. Like he is. He's 36 years old. I don't know what he's got left, and he's a free agent at the end of this year, or he can opt to be a free agent. I think what's he do, JJ? 40. Can he go out and get more on the open
He
market?
thinks he can.
Yeah, at 36.
At 36, I'm not sure if he's going
really
to get one more mega deal.
Yeah, I know that especially if he puts together this playoff run, and I don't want to claim that that's what's motivating him. I think winning a ring is really what's motivating him at 36, because I don't know where the mega deal's coming from in a better situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, would it be great for him to join LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Well, sure, but I don't know how the Lakers are affording that, right? If he thinks he's going to get paid what he's going to get paid. For him to take, I think it's 43 million. Steph, can you imagine saying, "No, I'm good. I'm going to opt out of this 43 million this year. I'm going to go see if I can get a better deal." But that's the situation he may be in. I don't know if that's motivating him, and I think that's talk for later. I just watch what they're doing, and JJ, I told you I thought the winner of the West is going to come out of the Clippers Jazz series, and I still do believe that, but it's not going to be easy. Phoenix is making a statement, and this is partially about what Denver is not. Okay, it's partially about what Denver is not, but it's in reality a large part about what Phoenix is becoming, and with or without Chris Paul moving forward, they're going to be a really, really good team.
Yeah, they have the pieces in place to continue to put things around the edges. When you look at Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, that's your young core, which you know you're going to be locked in for a few years. And then it's the Jay Crowders of the world, who's going to be potentially even that next big guard piece for them. But right now, they're locked in. They're playing at a really good level. And for the Denver Nuggets, this is going to be tough because they got a lot of work to do just to finish out this series as a team. Because you have Michael Malone coming out saying, dudes quit last night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe going, I don't really think anyone quit. We just didn't have it. And now they all got to come together today and say, how are we finishing this out? What are we going to look like to finish this series?
Look, Denver's nice, and they're really nice. And if you put Jamal Murray in there, I think they contend for the West. And why do I say that? Look, last year they were in the finals, the Western Conference Finals with Jamal Murray against the Lakers. And I think they would have been better this year because I think Michael Porter Jr. was better. They found at times other guys that contributed, not every night, and Jokic was better, but you can't. Porter's hurt, like he's obviously hurt. Millsap isn't what they thought he was going to be. Monte Morris isn't consistent enough. Will Barton was nice last night. Will Barton was really nice last night. But
his first game in like 2 months, coming off the hamstring injury. But all the players that you're talking about, like Monte Morris is supposed to be a rotation guy.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You're not supposed to count on him.
That's right.
Every single night.
Campazzo's your point guard. He's going up against Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And he's a 30-year-old rookie. What does that tell you?
It tells you everything, where this team is right now.
You put Jamal Murray back in there and add another piece. I think Aaron Gordon is a nice addition. He hasn't been the scorer that you need. I don't even know if he's been the defender you need, but I think he's going to be fine.
Jamal Murray in this rotation, you look at any of these four teams and say they can win the conference.
But my point is, if you look at what Devin Booker does, but let me go even more so what Damian Lillard does or what Donovan Mitchell did the other night, what Kawhi Leonard does, what Trae Young does for Atlanta. That's what Jamal Murray does. I mean, can we not forget what happened in the bubble last year and how the best player in the bubble arguably was Jamal Murray last year, was he not?
Yeah, he had a couple 50-point
plus
games in playoffs.
Yeah. So if you're a Nugget fan, like getting spanked by 20-something last night, and it was, boy, we've had a lot of these games. A lot of these games in the playoffs where it's out of control and a team's getting pounded and we're watching the bottom of the bench play the fourth quarter, and that's fine. But I guess I'm not as down on Denver because I look at him and say, well, Porter's hurt. You're arguably your best player. I mean, do you think Murray's your best player or Jokic is your best player? Who's Batman? Who's Robin?
Batman is the Joker.
Okay.
Okay.
Batman is the Joker, which is kind of funny in its own right. I might argue with you on that, but one of your two. Murray's terrific, dude.
Well, they
Yeah.
to your point, it's the balance.
Yeah.
Like it's Joker is that much better when Murray's on the floor,
No
just
doubt.
like Joel Embiid balances out Ben Simmons, and they work on kind of their deficiencies, and that is the whole point. Is like the Nuggets swung for the fences when they acquired Aaron Gordon. They put this roster together for this moment,
Yeah.
and you just do towards ACL,
Yeah.
just like in LA. It's like Anthony Davis is hurt. Just like, well, that's the season.
And that's where I was going to equate this to. This is the Nuggets or the Lakers with Anthony Davis down. Well, Jeff, they got to the second round and they finished as the 3 seed, and that's great. I mean, that's a testimony to their roster and what they did to Michael Malone and to the MVP. But they weren't going to win this thing with their best or their best A player, 1A or 1B down. Tell me who is. Philly's not. Well, look, James Harden's down. Okay, but look what they got. James Harden, you might be. I don't know. Is he the third best or the second best player on that team? You tell me.
The difference is they still have
Yes,
2 stars,
two.
even with 1 down.
And in today's game, and I've told you this for as long as I've had a microphone in front of me, none of these superstars win a championship by themselves. Not LeBron James, not Kobe Bryant, not Michael Jordan, not Nikola Jokic. And that's why Denver wasn't going to win this. Now, if Jamal Murray was in there, we'd be having another conversation. So I don't know if this is more about Denver or more about Phoenix. And I think the answer is yes, right? Honestly, is this series more about Denver or more about Phoenix? It's going to be more about Phoenix because nobody on Denver is going to get fired for losing this series, I don't think, unless they get blown out by 30 the next 2 days. I don't think Michael Malone's getting fired. I think he's done a terrific job. But to me, it's more about what Phoenix is built coming through the bubble at 8-0 last year and now finishing with the second best record in the NBA and getting through the Lakers and looking this impressive. To me, it's about Phoenix.
I do agree. What they've done roster construction-wise, they've hit a ton of home runs on their draft picks, and they've put themselves down in position. They are legitimate conference contenders. It's not just, beating this Nuggets team right now. They can match up with the Clippers. They can match up with the Jazz and go the distance.
All right, 505-246-0610 is how to get to us today. Stephanie will take your call. She's producing for us on Bobcat Load Management Day. You can email the show, Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, JJ@sportsanimалabq.com. Aaron's producing on the TV side. You can watch us on the Facebook, The OD and the AM. We're live on Comcast Channel 26 every single day around the state of New Mexico, of course, on their YouTube channel, ProView Networks, and our Facebook page, The OD and the AM. Follow JJ on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. We got a lot more to do. We're going to get more basketball. Richard Pitino spoke yesterday. Tell you about what he had to say. Garrett Cole and Josh Donaldson faced off yesterday on the field, not just through the media. There's a ton to do. Us and you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mix a little sports analysis.
JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason.
123-98. Nuggets get beat last night in Phoenix by a Suns team that is rolling right now. And you know, I don't know if you like draws. We talk about what the Philly draw was and on the other side. And I can't sit here and tell you that Phoenix got an easy draw, the better draw, because they got the Lakers in the first round, a beat-up Lakers team. It ends up, I don't know if it would have been better for them to draw Portland or to draw. I mean, you got to get through everybody. To me, this isn't about matchups necessarily. I think the tough matchup is Phoenix. Figuring them out. You got to have a good big. You've got to have somebody who can defend. You've got to have a point guard who can chase Chris Paul around. I think your word on the balance is so right to me with Phoenix. Like they're an old school construction with new school feel to it, if that makes any sense at all. So they're constructed in a relatively traditional way with a big man to a point guard, but they play like a modern basketball team. Does that make any sense?
To me, that is the best way to sum up the Phoenix Suns. You have your 1 through 5, more of a new age 4 with Jay Crowder, but still, it's who right there's. You can look at the floor and say, well, there's your point guard, there's your shooting guard, there's your small forward, there's your power forward, and there's your center. But no spacing. They're really good in the pick and roll, and they shoot threes.
All right, I'm glad that made sense because I was trying to spit it out, and it's like, okay, it feels to me like a recognizable team from bygone days, but yet they play like a team now with the floor space. They defend incredibly well.
Yeah. They do,
and they're deep, and the pieces that come off the bench are versatile. And I love the way they're constructed. I just, I look at them. I looked at the process. These are the two franchises, and this could be the final. I don't know. Philly, I don't think it will. Philly and Phoenix, right? But two franchises who have
the
gone
Barkley
through,
final.
Would that be something? The processes that these two franchises have gone through, like the droughts that these two relatively proud franchises, right? I mean, Phoenix is had some good teams. Philly's won, and I want to get to who's left and who's not. But the droughts, the process, they weren't exact, by the way. They're not exactly the same way, but they're relatively similar. Really, 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 really dry years for those franchises.
But they both fell off. It was, you have to go back to, when was the end of the D'Antoni era in Phoenix, where they could never get past the Spurs?
Yeah, it's got to be 10 years.
Oh, it's over 10 years.
All right, 10, 12 years. So, I mean, yeah.
So where Steve Nash was winning NBA MVPs, but they could never beat the San Antonio Spurs. You're seeing it, the fastest show on the hardwood, everything that they had, and they could never get over that hump. And it was Mark Stoudemire, Sean Marion,
good teams,
Nash.
Really good teams.
Just never got it done.
Yeah, really good teams. Bruin James, good morning. It says Bruin James on my screen. How about that? See, she's coachable. What's up, man?
Hey, I want to thank your governor, first of all, for making me feel welcome. I heard the news today. The weather is going to be hot, and the air quality is going to be poor. So just like back home in the IE.
Just
so
like
thank you.
the IE.
And the Phoenix Suns are built like the Seattle Supersonics back in the day. DJ at point, you had downtown Freddie Brown would shoot the long ball, Jack Sigma in the middle, and then you had everybody around him, and then you had the bench come off, and they had a pretty good bench. So that's how they're built, like that. It's old school, but yet with a three-pointer going around it. I watched a little bit of the game last night. Was kind of tired and everything, but
you sound sleepy.
But yeah, I want to thank Lujan. Thank her for making me feel, back at home.
Yep, I'll
Have
pass
a
it
good one,
on.
guys.
See ya. It is. It's just like Rancho Cucamonga. It's hot and bad air quality. Just like Upland, Pomona. Yeah, feels like the Inland Empire, does it? San Bernardino, hello. How are you breathing out there? If you've got a respiratory issue, don't go outside. Yeah, it feels just like the IE, JJ. Yeah, it's a fun team to watch. If you haven't, and I think you have. If you haven't watched the Suns by now, you're probably not going to watch them. But they were impressive last night. All right, Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. I think you and I and everybody else in America who pays any attention anticipated Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz being named Defensive Player of the Year, and the announcement comes the day after he blocks a shot at the end of the game, an attempted three that would have been a potential tying three-pointer. I don't think any surprise, and I think that's good.
Rudy Gobert is the best defensive center we've seen in basketball in a long time. And I know a lot of people are talking about Bam Adebayo, Ben Simmons, and their versatility. At times, you can guard 1 through 5 for those guys, which is very nice. But the numbers, if I know they bore people, but if you ever wanted to dive into them, like what Rudy Gobert does for that Jazz defense is like historically good defensively with him on the floor. But his length, how he can just destroy sets, he can survive on the perimeter, as we saw at the end of game 1, his ability to close out. And he got beat for a second on the pump fake, but his arms are like 8 feet long. And then he blocked the shot of Marcus Morris. It was a no-brainer. He's best defensive center in the game. Definitely one of the most impactful defensive players across the board. Easy vote.
It's good to have 8-foot-long arms, man. I mean, it really, really helps.
It's like the inflatable arm man.
Exactly. Like you see out at the car dealership or the car wash or the cleaners or where else are they?
Pretty much just car dealerships.
Is that all it is? Yeah. They have no cars, but they have the inflatable man. Where was I? We were out playing golf the other day and looking across the street, the car lot. There's no cars, man. Like, that's a real issue.
Got to get them chips.
It's a real issue. All right, we come back. Lobos are oversigned, but only by 1 right now. We can get into what Richard Pitino had to say, who's not coming, and the players who are now on campus. I want to get into that. 505-246-0610. Already got emails coming. Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com.
Home is where your heart is, so take it on the road and find a new adventure with an RV loan from
Reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to dcesystemsinc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
On your coffee.
Take a vintage soy latte.
What do you want in your
with
coffee? I didn't ask you what kind of sweet sugar.
creamers
You're out. You don't get
and-
one. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm putting in the order. Just a coffee with a splash of cream. That's it. I mean, you get last
Sweetener and
chance.
cream. Keep it simple.
Huh? What do you want?
Sweetener and cream. Keep it simple.
All right. JJ, sweetener and cream. All right. We may have a guest here soon in studio. Clark made coffee earlier today. Steph, did you hear the Clark coffee story? Have you noticed any? Have you been in the kitchen at all?
Yes, I have been in the kitchen. Yes.
Clark, so we used to have these big carafes of coffee, which I think were fine. You pumped your coffee, and then when it was empty, you made coffee, right? Now we've got these burners and pots and whatever.
Looks like what you'd see at like a diner.
Totally. Like Mel's Diner.
Yes.
Yes. With Florence Jean Castleberry. Remember Flo and Alice?
They kind of they make me a little nervous.
Do they?
We went from coffee carafe to glass.
Oh, people love to leave them on, and they get all burnt.
They get all burnt. Yeah, you leave when there's just a little at the bottom. So Clark made coffee this morning. Put the filter and put it in, walked and did his thing. But he forgot to put the pot down. So I guess coffee was all over the kitchen. That brand new kitchen floor.
Oh, remodeled kitchen.
Yeah. Have you ever made coffee at home and not put the cup down? I have.
Yes.
I have.
Yes.
Not a whole pot.
I know there's 3 of them sitting there.
Yeah, there's 3.
3.
I've done the one where you don't put the pot all the way in, and it's just halfway, and then
It leaks all over the joint. Yeah, yeah. I've made a K-cup, the single serving, and forgot to put the cup down. And and noticed as it started to dribble. Yeah, so that's why it's nope. It looks fine. It looks fine in there. So we may get a coffee delivery today. I'm not sure. Steph, what would what kind, how do you like your coffee? Do you do coffee?
Yeah, and I always like to say I like a splash of coffee with my cream and sugar. I'm a crazy sugar cream person.
I don't even know how to order that.
Let's take a cup of sugar with a tablespoon of coffee, please.
No, just I would do black, and then I fix it up myself.
How do you want me to order this? For crying out
You
loud?
want a
You're killing me.
coffee or
him with his little Venti double splash, 2 pumps, sugary, sweet, goody.
Nitro cold brew, light
You're
sweet
out.
cream, please.
I'll do black. Original.
All right, black, and then we'll load it up. All right, 246-0610-88. It's Coffee Talk. That's right, Coffee Talk here on your radio this morning. That's right, a little coffee talk. for you.
Starbucks has ruined coffee talk.
That's right. Do you like the Starbucks? Like, if you, tell me about the Dutch Brothers. Everybody loves that place.
I haven't had it yet.
Because the lines are too damn long.
It's actually really good.
Is it really good? So what makes this so
I like
good?
it.
Starbucks is fine. Like, everybody loves the Star. All right, it's good. It's better than some Folgers. All right, I'm down. But like I don't know.
I think if you like the different drinks and you're just not a coffee person, they have tons of like flavor drinks.
Yeah.
Like the more variety than what Starbucks
So
gives.
Cregan
guava punch.
and I went up a couple of years ago to Highlands to watch a basketball game when Craig Snow was coaching, and he said, "Let's stop and I'll show you the picture, dude." He says, "Well, let's stop and get something at Starbucks." I'm like, "All right, that's fine." And so we go through, and he says, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Well, what do you get? Just give me what you get." And so I get this pink. I didn't even know what it was. And then
You're like, wait, this isn't coffee.
It's not coffee. That's like, and I put it in my mouth. I'm like, this isn't coffee. And the look on my face, he took a picture. There's a shot that he loves to share of the look on my face. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like it was horrible. And it was literally by the time we got to Las Vegas with our little pink drinks, and you get to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and it's kind of a, I don't know, it's probably, it's not a pink drink kind of a town. How's that? Is that a fair way to say it? I just told him, we're getting out, and it was, we're getting lunch. I said, hey, can we just let's not walk around here with we're gonna get rolled, bro. Like we're gonna get, with these in our
I'm a big fan of your Starbucks tea.
It was horrible. Some strawberry mega Italian 5-syllable name drink. Just wanted a coffee, man. I guess I should have ordered my own drink. So what were you starting to order just now? What were you telling me? Venti 2-pump caramel extra sugar. What?
I don't do anything that crazy.
What do you?
I don't. I usually just go like nitro cold brew.
Nitro cold brew.
Sweet cream.
Sweet cream. All right. I usually just go medium. I don't even speak their language. I don't even medium. Is that
so you want a
venti?
venti?
Yeah. I don't even speak
Want a
their
grande?
language. Just can I have a damn
That's
coffee?
all.
Exactly. All right. 505-246-0610. Where's your coffee place? No, I'm kidding. Richard Pitino spoke yesterday. They were 2 over the limit. Now they're 1 over the limit. Jamel King, the 6'7", swing from Bella Vista Prep in Arizona and Scottsdale, originally from Alabama. His decommitted, been released from his national letter of intent, and he will reopen his recruitment. I don't know that I'm shocked by that. I saw the social media. Oh, I really wanted to see him play. Okay. And you'll see him play. He just won't be here. When it wasn't his guy and he was recruiting and we can get into the over-recruiting philosophy all you want. Yeah. Didn't surprise me. This kid may be great. He may not be. I don't know. But this wasn't his, and this isn't uncommon.
I bet if you looked at the rosters of teams that just hired a coach, the incoming players, what would you say, like 90% decommit? Like, why wouldn't you at that point?
The ones who aren't already there.
Yeah, incoming players.
You can recommit if you want, but you reopen your recruitment, and
like, that's zero surprise to me.
Yeah.
Like, the players that haven't been here that signed for a previous staff would not come or go somewhere else.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all. People are, oh, he's running all these. He's not running. Look, again, how many games did you win last year? Just asking. Were you the worst team in the league? I believe so, right? Yeah, you were the worst team in the league. How many of those guys did you want to keep? Did you just think bringing in? I've asked you this question a bunch of times. You just think bringing a new coach and keeping that same roster was going to fix everything? Of course you didn't. You watched the games. Of course you didn't. So this is no surprise to me. He was released and he'll go find a place. There's 1,600 guys still in the transfer
and this
portal?
is where then I also say you have to deal with allowing kids a one-time free transfer, because this does happen. Is you're a player at a university, you might have been bad last year, but some of these guys don't want to leave. It's just the reality of it. You have to acknowledge it. But they come to a point where it said, hey, we're recruiting these guys. There's not quite a spot for you here.
Yeah, I guess I could argue that if you are released, if you are told that your scholarship is not being renewed, I feel it's different.
Because one of these guys is going to be.
There's no doubt. There's
in that
no
situation.
Doubt. There's no doubt. And you can start looking at the list and start trying to figure it out. And I don't know that it's all that difficult to do. Okay. I do feel it's a little different for if someone was released as opposed to ops, but
and they'll never. And as Richard Patino said yesterday, the full story is not always out there.
That's right. That's right.
Because they still don't want to talk about that stuff. Like it's there, we know it, but coaches don't want to get into it. They don't want to say they outright released a amateur student athlete.
Right.
But it's also the challenge of it is you're looking at this roster, people are excited because all these dudes can come in and play right away.
Or at least you think so. I mean, at least you think so, right? Can they all? Can the true freshmen, the international?
When you look at like Jalen House, Jamal Mashburn.
Yeah, you've got a roster.
Todd,
you've got 6 or 7 that can play right away. That you say absolutely they've already played. They've already performed at this level.
You're getting the benefit of that now.
No, I think that's right. I'm fine with it. It's unfortunate for this young man. At least he never got here. It's mid-June. I don't know how long he's been open in his recruiting process. It sounds like he's a really good player, and he will find a place to play. Right? And you know what that's going to do? That's going to bump somebody else off of a roster somewhere. I don't care if he goes to UC Irvine or if he goes to North Carolina. Him going there is going to bump somebody else out, put somebody in the same spot he was just in, right? At some point, the music's going to stop, and there's going to be a number of athletes who don't have a chair to sit in. At some point, the music's going to stop, and there's not going to be a roster spot for all these young men. Right? And then it gets down to the high school, and that's the piece, the high school recruiting piece is almost the conversation now.
Yeah, and it's especially with college basketball.
Yes.
That's where I think high school players are taking the biggest hit because your top 100 going to find a spot.
Okay.
Outside of that, you've already set coaches, and you've talked about it, and we haven't gotten there yet, which I think is a great conversation. But there's coaches that outwardly have already said, I'm not recruiting high school players.
How many on that list? You got the whole list right there of Richard Pitino's new player. How many are high school, coming out of high school? Any of them? Not that's right
2
or wrong. 2?
Would you'd consider. Look at Forsling. He's an international so prep kid, and the same thing with Sek.
So 2 international kids who were at a prep school. And I'm not telling you it's right or wrong. Like he's got his job isn't to go out and give high school kids a chance to go to college and play basketball. His job is to put together the best level basketball team he can. And it feels like he's doing that. Again, you know where I am, just looking at names and rosters and numbers. And I mean, let me see when guys come down the ramp, and I'll be impressed. But it feels like he's putting together the best team he can. But he's not alone in this now. There are a number, and when we come back, we'll have this conversation, a number of college basketball coaches who have flat out said publicly, I'm not going to recruit high school anymore. The transfer portal is better. And here, can I give you the honesty on the security? And while they haven't said this outwardly, if you take a kid to the transfer, he's already burned his free transfer. So now he's more apt to stay with you than he was the first time. A high school kid still has his free transfer. If I get a kid who's already transferred, he's burned his transfer. Now I control it, not him, right? They're not saying that publicly. I heard a coach tell me that relatively recently. So 505-246-0610. We'll get into that when we come back. Man, it's good to be moving again. Coming out of this past year and a half, it's good to be out living and loving and doing stuff and feeling good. Gentlemen, are you ready for all this? Are you feeling well? If you're not feeling like yourself, I suggest you call Numel and feel like you again. If you're dealing with some natural things like fatigue, low T, erectile dysfunction, there's a place right here in Albuquerque that can help. Numel has been the trailblazer in men's health. They've been leading the way for years. Call them at 505-652-1688 or visit Numel, that's NUMALE.com. You'll feel better. I know you know this. As men age, things like hair loss, weight gain, even ED happen. There's a good chance you will be affected. Nothing to be ashamed of. The only thing to be embarrassed about is if you don't do anything about it, especially when there's something so convenient to do. And that's Numel, 505-652-1688. Numel's right here in Albuquerque. It's a comfortable process. But the best part about this whole deal is the results. The results are absolutely real. It works, and men all over the country are benefiting. Call Numel. The number is 505-652-1688 or visit Numel.com and feel better.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Cade Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs.
We'll get some more insight into the world of college athletics here coming up shortly. An in-studio guest they're going to be dropping on you here coming up at the top of the hour. Hearing from Lobo men's basketball coach Richard Pitino yesterday. It's a lot of roster turnover, and this is the world we are in, but also what happens with brand new coaching staff and a team that wasn't successful last season. And this is what coaches can do. They can come in and immediately change an entire roster. With what we're seeing, it's no longer just waiting for that waiver. It's a one-time free transfer, and it is challenging. There's a lot of things in college athletics that are changing really quickly. We'll get into the name, image, and likeness and what that means and how states like New Mexico are going to deal with it, and specifically the universities putting into place the ability for athletes to be compensated. You sign an autograph, get a couple bucks. But how do you manage that? What does that look like moving forward? So we'll be able to break that down for you. But it's here. And moving into the new season, the roster is taking shape. Lobo men's basketball still went over the scholarship limit. They'll have one more decision with the player. But what we're learning is guys are getting here. They're getting comfortable with each other. And then we'll be talking about some practice next week. And then when you look at this situation with collegiate athletics and coaches that have talked about they're not recruiting high school players anymore, yeah, they're taking a big hit. I do believe the next year or two, now that recruiting is finally back open, once June hit, you can visit campuses. It's not over Zoom. That's definitely going to help out a lot. But there's going to be programs that find a way to take advantage of this, whether it is getting the diamonds in the rough, the high school players that are going overlooked, or being the place that becomes the destination for the power conference transfers that don't make it. Everyone will find a way to figure this out. It's going to be really different over the next couple of years. We're talking 1,600 players just in basketball, the transfer portal right now. And that's just looking at the men's side. And there's still plenty of roster turnover and transfers that are going on the women's side. And then you take a step back from that, and you see it just in collegiate sports overall. You got women's soccer, Alicia Garcia, one of their leading scorers last season. She just signed at LSU. So she's taking her chance going to the SEC to play some soccer. So it's a revolving door, but it's about finding enough stability, consistency to where you have that core of your roster year in and year out. And expectations are changing so quickly. We already think that expectations for programs, especially here at UNM, like basketball, is really high. Well, now even more so when you look at players being immediately eligible and then dealing with that. And then it's still I want to overuse its term bubble, but the expanded roster into this season with the extra year of eligibility. And those years still playing out down the line, because it wasn't just seniors. It was everyone that was affected last year. So you're going to see seniors coming back. New Mexico State got some good news. Their men's basketball team this week, they're feeling really good about bringing back Donnie Tillman, Johnny McCants, and Clayton Henry. So there's a positive. So there's always challenges in this whole scenario, but you're going to find ways to still be successful. There's going to be some coaches that handle it better than others at the start. We've been here, done that in terms of dramatic changes in collegiate athletics. These universities, these athletic departments, these coaches are going to figure it all out. And guess what? It'll be fine. It'll be more of the same moving forward. Look at that. Is that a delivery?
Yeah, isn't that all right?
Unbelievable.
Not only that, and by the way, I guess, what did you want? What was it? Event what? What was your first order?
Oh, I was just joking. My first
Were
order.
you? Eddie said you could have had it. Really, the work was me having to thumb it out.
You're like, I'll take a coffee.
Steph, there'll be a coffee. Eddie Nunez reached out to me. That mic's hot, I believe.
It is.
Yeah, if you want to. I know we're coming up on his helmet is. So I get a text a little while ago. Oh, wow. And it says, "Hey, I'm going to be by your place. Does anybody want coffee?" So thank you is really thank you. No, I appreciate it. It's better than the stuff all over the floor. What's going on? You got a few minutes?
Yeah, just for this young lady right here.
For that young lady right there? Yeah, you can go over there. How about that delivery? Huh? How about that delivery?
It's pretty nice.
It's awesome. All right, where were you?
Oh, just setting the table for the.
Is that music
discussion.
I hear? All right. When we come back, Eddie, you got 1 segment in? You got till about 10 after? Yeah. All right. Eddie Nunez is the athletic director at UNM. He'll be with us. Just talk. We haven't really caught up with Eddie since this incredible success. Do you have money in the budget to build a new trophy case?
We will find it.
Yeah, we will find it. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Eddie Nunez will be with us when we come back on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Enjoy your coffee.
As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Sports the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score two. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
This one's high. It's going deep, and it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the three-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
And he brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles play long ball. Put over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style,
7 o'clock in the morning.
7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 2-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and J.J. Buck.
All right, we're going to change course a little bit. We'll get back to that conversation we're having, recruiting. I still want to get there, where coaches have said that they're not going to recruit high school players anymore. Publicly have said that the transfer portal is better. But got our special guest. I think you're our since we've been back, our second in-studio guest.
Oh, I'm glad you guys are finally decided to come to work a little bit. I mean, hanging out at home all day. I mean, it's good to see you back a little bit, back to normal.
At least you didn't say work. So come to work is different than we actually were working.
You were. Yeah. I had to give you a hard time while you were working.
No, look, the commute all the way down the stairs was nice. The coffee was good. The breakfast was there. The children, your kid was there. My kid was running out making noise all the time.
No, it was. It
It's
was.
good. It's good to be. It's good to be moving again. I know for you guys, you're planning a football season. You had fans at basketball or baseball. It's from your angle. Are you guys planning on a relatively, and I don't even know what normal means anymore, but a relatively how about this, attended football season?
Yeah, I would tell you that everything we are doing, as we started when COVID first came upon us, it was to plan for the best. Always plan for every situation that we can, and then figure out how we go about it. And honestly, we're doing the same today. We're planning for full stadium. We're pushing that way. Our ticket sales are moving in that direction. If those who had tickets before and haven't got them, go get them. Now's the time, because we're gonna that's gonna be the approach. We still have a little bit of figuring out to do with basketball and indoor sports, but things are trending in the right direction, and we could, if individuals continue to get vaccinated and we go and get to a point where, as a state, we feel comfortable, and as an institution, we can do it and execute it, we're going to do it. We're going to have it.
Are the things that are happening? I mean, I look at Istopes Park, which is across the street. What are they at? Are they at almost full capacity? They're 3/4 for United and for Istopes? I mean, if 3/4 for football, I think you'd be thrilled.
No, we would, and we experienced some of this with women's soccer. We experienced it with baseball, softball. So having an opportunity to really just expand on it, we're ready for it. I mean, we would have done some more. So,
what's it feel like to look back at the spring semester, and even going back to in the women's basketball season, just where we sat last year at this time to seeing everything that was then accomplished?
Well, again, you as any department or any institution, we all sat there and said, okay, do we have the pieces in place to be able to allow us to move forward? And a lot of it came back to over communication. We wanted to make sure that we over communicate with everybody. So if I look back at this time last year, and we're having to navigate an unknown. I mean, truly had no idea what was going to be. We didn't know what was going to happen tomorrow. And the willingness of our coaches, our staff, our student athletes to understand, look, this is different, but we're going to get through this together. And we're not just going to sit here. And I've always said this is, I wanted to plan forward. What are we doing? And we did. And our coaches were unbelievable working together. We had to get creative too. It wasn't just sitting there and us talking to each other and saying, okay, let's figure things out. I also had to throw in little curveballs here and there, and had to have motivational speakers come talk to our through Zoom to our coaches and to our staff and our student athletes. I mean, I had Shaq speak to the basketball. It was just trying to create some opportunities for them to just get their mind off everything else that was going on. So it worked out. We navigated a lot of challenging obstacles that others didn't have to. But I couldn't have done this without the willingness of our coaches, our staff, everybody buying in, understanding what we had to do and do it right.
What do you think some of the biggest lessons in the positive way, the glass half full, that you're able to take away to that point, not just yourself, but your staff and even the coaches? You look around and see what they did.
Danny, when our football team went off to Vegas, we knew we had to make some very difficult decisions. We had to honestly pull some teams off every other sport that was not competing at the time. Basically, I sent them home. And it was a very, very difficult decision because they all wanted to get back to normal. But I knew that with everything that was in place, we were putting ourselves in disadvantage if we were trying to navigate and control everybody instead of focusing on one to make sure we can do this and do it right, and then utilize that as a template. And it did. It worked out perfectly. Our coaches utilized each other to actually understand what football did, how they did it, how they were successful. I mean, women's Mike Bradbury, Coach Weir, all of them, they utilized that when the time came. And then after that, every spring sport did the same. So the success that, and I've said this over and over to individuals, the success we had in the spring is a testament to what the foundation that football built, because it allowed us to see what worked, how it worked, what didn't work, and what we needed to do to make sure our student athletes were in the best position to be successful.
Eddie Nunez is the athletic director at UNM. He's in studio with us, and thank you for the coffee.
Dugan's Coffee.
You haven't said this, and I'll say it. I don't want you to say it. I'm looking for validation on it. It was a bold move to say we're playing football, because as an administration, you were being urged, not quietly, but publicly, to not play. And I said it, JJ said it on our platform. I think it would have been irreparable damage to the football program to shut down when everybody else was playing, and you made the bold move to do it and went and did it. To hear you say now that they set the tone, basically the blueprint was laid by a first-year head coach. Now, certainly with some veteran coaches on that staff, to put a first-year coach in the position that he was put because of circumstances, and watch what he did, and look, I'm a big Danny fan. I think most people are. But it's pretty impressive. Now, certainly, he talks a lot about how he relies on Coach Rocky Long, and having that piece there was great. But yeah, you went. It was a bold move to say let's do it, and then you got the results that you needed because it could have gone the other way.
No, it wasn't. It was not an easy decision, and I understand where the state, the health orders that were in place. I do. I get it. It was there for the betterment of our state and controlling the situation we were all dealing with. On the other side, I understood that we were putting a lot of pieces in place that were allowing us to be successful. That was when you have the students, the leaders, the seniors coming up to you and telling you, we will control this. It's not just going to be the coaches. We will control ourselves. We will do this. We will do that. This is what they do.
You got to trust them.
Yeah, they put themselves on an app. They did this. It wasn't just the coaches saying we're going to tell you what to do. No, they were saying we're going to do this because we want to show everybody we can do it and do it right. And when you have that buy-in, it really allows you to know that, you know what, we can do this and be successful. And if we don't, we pull back and we follow the suit. The one thing, again, going 43 weeks, whatever it was, on the road, not one positive, it really helped build the team that we're going to have in the future because they understood what this is about, what the commitment is about that is necessary here.
Right.
And at the end of the day, everything that we have done to this point and what we're going to continue to do moving forward, it's about the whole state getting involved. This isn't just about UNM and UNM athletics. This is all our fan bases, everybody. The only way we're going to continue to have success is doing it together. And I've talked about it since the day I got here. Danny speaks about it. Everybody, it's a village approach. We need everybody in, in.
And that's why I think the fact that your football coach is so outwardly active and supportive of other programs is big. I got two things that we hear about that are going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the status of the baseball search, the baseball coach search, and the TV package in football, and where the league is in regards to their third tier rights and the games. And look, I'll say it. UNM got hosed on this on the deal. There should be a deal where everybody's on X number of times, and for you to only be on those two networks 4 times is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you're still getting. I think one thing that's got to be very clear is you're still getting monetarily. You're still getting your full share of money.
Everybody's getting the same.
But you're not getting the exposure. So where, if you can at all update people on the baseball search, and then where the league is on the football.
I'll start off with the league part with the TV because that was a little. I know everyone got very disgruntled with it, and of course we were as well. But just as a side note, the league did reach out to us and try to move some of our one of our games, which we were not going to do, which is the New Mexico State.
And it was the right move on your part.
Yeah, we were not going to move New Mexico State off a Saturday to a Friday, and if that prohibited us from being on CBS one time, so be it. But I know what's important for New Mexico and for us is to have that game on a Saturday.
What was the one game that felt like college football in the last 2 years? Right?
Lobo Aggie game,
and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're exactly correct. So the good part, which we need to continue to educate everyone so they understand, is it doesn't matter how many games down south has on that network. They don't get a single penny, but we get the same cut everyone else in our league does. So fortunate that that's there. But we've got to do a better job. We've talked to the conference office. We have to have a little more balance moving forward as far as equity, as far as who's representing on what networks and everything else. So that's that. The third tier, they're finalizing the negotiations. It looks like they will have someone that will come out here in the next, probably soon. And then in regards to the coaching search, as every other search we've done, again, the opportunity for success here in every area, not just athletically, but academically, every coach across the country sees it. And then you add in what Coach Birmingham has done to help build the program to what it is today from Coach Allday and others that help basically build the foundation and the program to what it is. There's a lot of interest. But it's like every other search. You're going to have people that are going to come in. They're going to see what their true intentions are. Are they trying to get a raise out of this? Are they trying to just get their name in the newspaper? So we've had to weed out some. We've had high-profile coaches, high-profile assistants. We've had to kind of navigate and kind of push those to the side that didn't meet what we're trying to bring here. So it is about finding the right fit. And one of the things that I've said and I've learned and I preach to our staff and everybody is we have to be immersed in this community. If anyone wants success, it's about immersing themselves fully 100% from top to bottom. And every candidate I've spoken to, if they don't understand it and I can't see it already as something they've done at the current programs they're associated with,
Not gonna start now.
It's not going to start, and so they're gone. So, but it's going well. We're down to two really. We've got one individual that I want to speak to prior to that. It might maybe put one more into the mix, but had a round of meetings this week, last couple of days, and had some people that really just didn't get to the level that I needed to, and but it's okay. It's okay.
It's a process.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's as you said, it's about resume, who that person is, and also just the timing of it. Like, it doesn't have to be person that's an alumni of the school or from the state of New Mexico. But right now it does feel like there's a lot of things that are working out for you. And you go back to that communication of the coaches last fall and then into the spring. What have you just seen resonate throughout the athletic department that might be different and is something that can push it forward?
You know, I've been around a lot of coaches, a lot of programs, and I know that culture isn't something that's just that you just say and then it ultimately just becomes. No, you have to believe it, you have to live it, and it's something we've been living for 4 years here, but it's taken time. We've had a lot of things we had to overcome. If you look at where we started and where we are today, it's a testament to everybody understanding, buying into the vision of this. We're all in this together. We're going to do this. We're going to excel. And it's great that we won 6 championships. That's unbelievable. But where's the 7th? Where's the 8th? Where's the opportunity when we get to the NCAAs? Not just get there. Let's take that next step.
Yeah.
So there's always opportunity for growth. Every way we look at this, and that's the vision, that's the mindset that I have in the department. As far as athletically, academically, we set three records in a row of GPA over the last 3 semesters. It is a testament to everybody and our coaches working together. When they see Danny supporting our basketball supporting baseball supporting soccer supporting golf, tennis, and vice versa, it starts bleeding into our student athletes. It starts our coaches, our fans start saying, you know what? It's not about being supportive of one coach more than another. And so we're all in this together. This is a unified athletic department. This is something that we all wanted here, and we're going to continue to grow on it.
JJ's heard me say this a million times. You know Jim Sturk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's at Missouri, was at San Diego State and Washington State before that. But he told me years ago at the Mountain West meetings in Scottsdale that he had Rocky Long and Steve Fisher. And he said they're 2 unbelievable people. And he said the reason that we've got such great harmony in our program at the time at San Diego State, he says because those 2 coaches aren't selfish. They like each other, they support each other, and they support every other program. And he said it's palpable, it's tangible what it does for the entire program. Yeah. And you can see that happening with what you've got.
When I was at Florida, I'll just say this quickly, and we had success when Billy Donovan got there, quicker than probably anticipated, because coaches like Steve Spurrier and others that were Andy Brandy, national championship coaches in their respective sports, are bought into it, and they wanted to see basketball succeed.
Exactly right.
And if you do that, it resonates with all the department. I mean, look at Florida now. It's one of the top programs in every sport. Yep. And when you say that started because of that. And
because it can be destroyed at the top if it's not that way. It can be a cancer that goes through. Hey, I know you got stuff to do. It's 98 degrees and it's mid-June. There's no off season. The man's got meetings. He's downtown getting stuff done, and appreciate you. By the way, thank you for the coffee.
Yes.
Next time we'll know if I can type up your damn order.
Again, I'm not trying to throw a pitch here for Dugan's Coffee. They do an unbelievable job. Yeah. Great sponsor, great supporter. So
yeah. And Steph, you got to meet Mr. Nunez?
Yes,
all right.
I did.
Just want to make sure.
Thank you so much for my coffee. I'm already halfway done.
Perfect. Continued success. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for everything, and more so thanks.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, and everyone that's out there, all Lobo fans, keep doing what you do. Please cheer us on. Come on, support. Get your tickets, but can't wait to see you guys in person.
Woof, woof, woof.
Absolutely, woof, woof.
It's the opening drive
Thanks,
on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our...
I appreciate Eddie coming by. Reply to Nunez says, Ron, Jeff, Cumulus needs to be one big happy family. If Bobcat succeeds in the house, then it only helps the OD. See, it's the same thing. That's right. We root for all our shows. Steph, when was the last time the athletic director at the university came by and brought you coffee?
Never, ever in my life.
See, there's a first for everything. See?
I should have had him autograph it.
And do that now, name, image, and likeness.
Look, I make no bones, and I tell you this for full disclosure. I mean, Eddie's become a good friend, but I think, and I had this conversation at lunch yesterday with some people who, longtime Albuquerque supporters, UNM supporters. although none of them went to UNM. They've all supported UNM. I think what Eddie's done with everything that's been thrown at him from the budget crisis to having cut sports to the pandemic to everything else, I don't know how much. Like you can always look back at a decision and say, oh, he could have done this better, that better, and that's fine. I think he's done an insanely good job.
I'm right there with you. It's, the thing with Eddie is he's always been accessible. He answers the questions. He's up front with everything, and his main goal has been to, yes, deal with the challenges that this athletic department was facing before he got here, figure that stuff out, but put it on the right path moving forward. And right now, you just start looking at that foundation, and it starts with the coaches.
Well,
they got some pretty good ones over there.
And they're keeping them. So let's go to the culture. And culture, to his point, is not just a word. It's not something that's said. You hired a football coach, a young, energetic alum, who, by many reports, and I believe his admission, right, was offered and turned down the defensive coordinator job at Texas and Oregon that would have paid somewhere in the area of, what, $2 million, right? And he's making, I think his package is about $700,000-800,000 here. Look, I mean, you're living good on $700,000-800,000, but it's not $2 million a year, and it's not Texas and Oregon. But because of the culture, and Danny Gonzalez has talked quite a bit about what Eddie's established here. You're intimately familiar with the women's soccer program and what Heather Dyke has done. And I believe it to be 3 Pac-12 programs, JJ, that have come after Heather Dyke. Utah, Oregon State, Arizona. And the way I understand it all, and I understand it from pretty good sources, that Heather has turned down all those jobs to stay at the University of New Mexico. Now, look, I know she's from here and she loves it here, but those are great opportunities for her professionally. And I'm a big Heather Dyke fan. I not just professionally what she's done. I like her the bit I know of her personally, and you know her better than I do. I think that says, that just speaks volumes for him to be able to keep these coaches, and look, he didn't hire all of them. He didn't hire Glenn Milligan, right? He didn't hire Jill Trujillo. But he's understood what's going on, and the ones he's hired seem to be going well. Yeah, you miss every once in a while. Softball up to where you wish they were. Okay, so they're not. He's held on to what's going on with Joe Franklin, right, and been able to keep them there. I think that just speaks volumes of the culture and the atmosphere that's been created at the University of New Mexico in athletics.
And it's what you have to do in Division I of the athletics, whether you're in Albuquerque or you're Las Cruces, is know that success is going to be an opportunity. And majority of places we get that, but especially if you're talking whether you do something successful as an independent coach down there in football, Chris Jans, what does his future look like, or even the coaches at the University of New Mexico. So it's building that foundation, keeping that culture, so you can at least be at a point where you say, thank you, we appreciate what you've done, now let's keep it going.
Yeah, I think one of the things that he said is if I can establish the base, this can be a long-term thing. I think there's a lot, what happens if and when Eddie leaves. And look, Eddie Nunez, to me, and I've said this to you, is one of the brightest young athletic directors in the country. Like he's on a terrific path. And at some point, is the right job going to come across? And it's like a coach to me. Yeah. I hope people at that point will see, because I hear all the time, well, is he committed to here? Whatever, man. I mean, if you ever listen, to the best of my knowledge, Eddie isn't looking for jobs. People are calling periodically. And you look at it and you say, is the athletic department in a better position when he leaves and when he got there? And to me, it is. And you say thank you, and you shake his hand, and you wish him best of luck, and you pat him on the back, and hopefully that there's a foundation in place, and I believe there is. Like I do. But to me, the biggest testament isn't what people are saying outside. Are people coming back? Are they raising more funds? I believe that's right. Academically, they're doing a great job. They're winning championships, but it's internally. And some people over there, and I know people over there, and it just feels like people like the culture that Eddie's created, right? They like working there, and obviously the coaches. Would Ray Birmingham have stayed on as an advisor, I guess so. I mean, if you're going to pay me, pay me, and I guess that's fine. And he did the right thing. What's the word? Ambassador? Is that what it is?
Yes, ambassador.
But it's just in the right way. By the way, it's not just because he reached out and brought us coffee.
It's very nice of him.
Those are just perks.
Yeah, no, it was nice. I do appreciate the coffee. It's better than having to lick the kitchen floor because Clark spilled coffee all over the damn floor this morning.
There's 3 coffee pots.
There's 3 pots right there.
3 coffee pots sitting right there.
Yeah, put one under the place where you
put one under where the coffee can be.
Yeah, I understand it. All right. When we come back, I want to get back into the conversation, JJ, on the recruiting that you started earlier, and who gets hurt, and is it the high school player, and probably is in the modern day recruiting, and where UNM is, and more of the stuff that Richard Pitino had to say yesterday. So you can get in at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Security for your home, for your business. It's kind of like insurance. You know you need it, but I also realize you don't want to pay for it. Then a bad guy breaks in and you realize you should have paid for it. You should have been prepared. You should have made the call to IPS. International Protective Service is a security company that watches my home. They have for years. Look, last year was a nightmare, and I get it. Moving forward, it's not going to be a lot better unless you take action. Let IPS protect your home. Let IPS protect your business with on-site guards or 24-hour patrols, and stop crime before it happens to you. You understand that property crime is on the rise. You understand that. You're probably, if you haven't been a victim, you're 1 degree away from somebody who is. Don't let the bad things happen to you. Don't let the bad guys come in and take and destroy what you've worked so hard to build. You go out of town, IPS watches your home. They do security checks every day. The exterior checks. They'll pick up the garbage, or the mail and the newspaper if you ask them to. Roll the garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day. Like I see them every day on my security cameras going by my house every single day. Gives me peace of mind. Get that peace of mind and protect what's important to you. Call IPS at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. Visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning.
Oh, is that tomorrow, Steph? I see you here. I forget now that you're like 2/3 of the time. Is this? I don't even know anymore. All I know is I got coffee this morning. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Stephanie, and Aaron. How many A's are in there? Just 2? Aaron. All right. You can watch the show on ProView Network, so let's do it on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. Suns beat the Nuggets last night, 123-98. Phoenix has a commanding 2-0 lead in that Western Conference semifinal. Stanley Cup last night. New York's Islanders. The Islanders, yeah, they beat the Boston Bruins 6-2. They advance. Now they get Tampa Bay in the Eastern Conference final.
The juggernaut, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning. You got a big one tonight. Avalanche and Vegas Golden Knights in Nevada. You don't feel very good about it.
No.
This is typical Denver experience, man. Your teams are getting deep in the playoffs, but not deep enough.
The one time I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll be a sports fan. I'll open myself back up. This is fun. The Avs are pretty good. I was prepared once Jamal Murray got hurt. We all saw the writing on the wall. It's different Nuggets, so it's gravy at this point in time to get the second round. But to see how poorly the Avalanche have played. They played a great 1.5 games. And then Vegas has beat them since. And they were up 2-0 in the third period, gave up 2 goals, and the game went in overtime in 50 seconds. Yeah. And they're down 3-2. It is incredibly painful. Let's watch that.
All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get into us today. I got this email from Bill. So we've been talking about, you talked about all the players that Richard Pitino has signed. None local, certainly. Which, look, I'm gonna ask you who, before you start with me, I'm gonna ask you who you think is gonna go out and who they're missing on. But where are all the callers, he says, that are always crying about Lobo Athletics not recruiting local players, that hailed the hiring of Gonzalez because Davey didn't recruit local players? All I'm hearing from Lobo basketball is mercenaries, mercenaries, mercenaries. Okay. Again, where are the New Mexico players that are at this caliber who are not being recruited by the University of New Mexico? I ask you that.
You're not hearing it yet, Jeff. Because
I just heard it right here.
Well, he's wondering, well, why aren't people saying it? You know why people aren't saying it? Because they're not done with this coach yet. When the team's not winning and they're done with the coach,
Good point.
that is one of the first things that people go to.
That is the pattern. No, that is the pattern. Like if they're not winning to my level, well, then why aren't they recruiting local players? They'd win with this kid from Cleveland or the kid from Jal. Or you're right. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. So they're not done with this coach yet. Fair enough. Lobo fan, be careful. Just be careful. That's all. And we don't hear it much in basketball. When was the last basketball player from the state that Lobo fan complained about that they didn't give him now en masse, not somebody's father or not a high school fan base, like the Eloy Medina thing or something like that. But when was the last? Because I can't recall one recently. The last New Mexico basketball player, Daraje, the kid from El Dorado.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see him get a look.
Mm-hmm. And he, of course, went to play in Arizona when everything shut down. I believe he's going to New Orleans.
Okay.
That's where he signed.
I would have liked to see him get a look. I thought he was athletic and bouncy, and while maybe couldn't come in and start right away as a freshman or whatever, I thought that would have been a young man where I'm like, huh, okay. He like, from what I watched, and I think you watched enough of him, I think that's all right. You got another one? What about William Benjamin?
Oh, Deuce?
Yeah.
Yes, he's already getting D1 offers.
All right. Should New Mexico be looking at him?
Absolutely.
New Mexico State's offered him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's going to be a senior?
Yes, so he will be a senior next year.
Yeah.
Just named the Boys Gatorade Player of the Year.
My point is, Bill, to you, I just give me the guys who they're missing on. Like you think that would be better on this roster than some of these guys. And, well, Jeff, they're international players, and they're mercenaries, and they're mercenaries. They're transfers, but everybody's a transfer. Or maybe the word, everybody's a mercenary now.
Student athletes.
Yeah. The philosophy thereof, and we've looked at this roster, and it's a lot of transfers. It's all, I think, what all but 2? So is there 9 out of 11? Is that the number? Or transfers? Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I'll give you one coach told me, here's the upside. They've already used their free transfer, right? So Jamal Mashburn and House and the rest of these guys, if they transfer again, they're going to have to sit out a year. So you've got a little bit more control. I don't think you're going to see turnover like this every year. Why are you shaking your head at me?
No, I'm agreeing with your statement.
Okay.
This is dramatic because it's a team that won, 6 games?
Yeah, they were bad.
Overall last year.
It was a bad team.
New coaching staff.
Yeah.
Going to have a dramatic turnover.
Yeah, it's dramatic. You're not going to see this every year. Now, you're not going to see a roster that's completely stable like you did in the past where all you lose is your seniors. First of all, I don't think you have any seniors, do you? You got like senior night's going to be like you're not even going to have senior night, are you? Maybe for a manager or two?
I mean, it depends on, and this is still going to be the next 2 to 3 years of figuring out these rosters with the extra year of eligibility that was there for everyone, not just the seniors. We got caught up on the term super senior because a lot of the times it was
New Mexico
you were able to bring back your best players.
Well, New Mexico State's got 3 of them.
But you still are then going to have players next year that might have been seniors but could still be eligible 2 more years. So there's still a lot of things in that regard that have to work itself out down the line before you get back to, a high school player.
Yeah, and so let's go there. The high school player, the high school player that was getting recruited by New Mexico, San Diego State, Colorado State, New Mexico State, Nevada. What's happening to that player now? Where's that guy going? With all the transfers now, and because we just talked about the transfer portal, and it was 1,600 players in the transfer portal. When the music stops, not everybody's going to have a place to go. What about the opportunity for those young men? The top 100, 150, 200 guys are going to get a spot, right?
Yes.
What about the kid, the 3-star kid out of Colorado Springs or Mesa or Roswell, New Mexico?
Well, I think there might be some kids that might have to lower their expectations a bit, but there's coaches and programs
340
that will
programs
take advantage of this. Like you might have your eyes set somewhere, and you're like, I don't know about this, but there are Division I scholarships out there for you.
So does that make the Campbells and the I'm just throwing names out there because I saw Campbell playing baseball yesterday, and Texas Southern and Northern Colorados and High Points of the world, are they the beneficiaries?
You start thinking about all right, the other teams in the WAC.
Wow, right.
Conference USA.
Seattle and UTRGV, yes.
Absolutely. There's opportunities.
So those programs then may get better because the quote unquote bigger programs are taking the transfers, and so these better high school
there's
players.
A chance.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're going to develop that dude.
Yeah, and then he's
going to go get that power conference job.
That's right.
But if you can find your niche and say, hey, you come here, it's a Division I scholarship,
and I'll coach you up.
We'll coach you up.
And by the way, as a coach, you're gonna get that reputation. Somebody's gonna come take you and pay you.
So it will work out. These coaches, the players coming up, they'll find a way to make it work, and someone's gonna be able to take advantage of this.
Yeah, it's a different world, boys and girls. And like I told you a couple weeks ago, and I'm not being a jerk, or at least I'm not trying to be. You kind of got two options on this. You either got to accept that it's just not the way it was in 1996. Guys aren't just staying here for 4 years all the time. Maybe somebody will. So you've got two options. You got to accept this is how it is, and your roster is going to be in flux every day, let alone every year. Or you got to find another sport to be passionate about. I mean, it's real. I hate to simplify it to that point. That's kind of how it is.
One thing you don't have to settle for is more of the same. Push yourself. Get out that bubble. And it starts with your health and fitness. It is time to not just think about, how do I stay healthy? How do you get in better shape? With F45 training, you can do that in just 45 minutes. F45 training, full body functional fitness, it is fantastic, and it is for everyone. I keep saying that because it is the truth. You go to a class at F45, it's everyone from the people that look like they're in the best shape of their life to people that are trying to get there. But the beauty of the class is the stations are set up, the work is there, so you can be someone that's just getting started, or you can be someone that's trying to challenge yourself, and you get a great workout. Everyone does at F45. So check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Take a look at the Northeast Heights location. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial and book your class right now. They have classes available 7 days a week. I'm itching. I've been a little bit busy this week. I can't wait to get back. I booked one in this afternoon, and I am stoked. I'm excited to get into the gym, and you will be too when you see what F45 presents to you in just 45 minutes. It's not going to take up your entire day, your entire evening. Just 45 minutes. You can get yourself a fantastic workout, and you're going to want to come back for more. So check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Get out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself right now. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One 0 Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles play long ball. Put over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Nets and Bucks tonight. Brooklyn leads that series 2 games to no games, and I sit here and tell you I don't understand how I think Milwaukee's going to come back and win this game and watch them win tonight. I mean, that they've looked outclassed, overmatched. That series more so even than Phoenix and Denver that we watched last night. That's
where the trouble is, right? In Milwaukee,
you think?
Not Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Denver's not healthy. You can look at Denver and say, well, here's why they're not in this series. Their best player, and I'll argue that Murray. It's so hard. I mean, how can you say the best player is better than the MVP? Murray's as important to them as Jokic is. I mean,
yes.
Now, would they have been if Jokic got hurt instead of Murray? Would they have been where they are? Maybe not. So maybe that means Jokic is a little bit better. But okay, Anthony Davis or LeBron James, who's more important? Kyrie Irving or James Harden, who's more important? Right? I just so one of their but you can look at him and say Porter, he's not good. Murray's not playing. Jokic can't do it all. And by the way, they're playing a really good team. Like I see why. I'm not concerned about Denver in the future. Milwaukee, you got to look at them and go, okay, they went out and got Drew Holiday, and they went out and they signed Chris Middleton, and they went out and got pieces, and they got Giannis, and they're trying to keep him, and they're getting blued out of the built on a regular basis, granted by a super team. But you got to get through that super team to get to where you want to be.
If you want to look at a team that potentially quit, I would say that's Milwaukee in Game 2. That was an embarrassment of the way they performed. It's like, we get it. Brooklyn is good. They have KD and Kyrie. But you're getting punked by Blake Griffin. Like you're seeing these role players show out. And that is exactly what you want when you put a team together is, all right, we have our stars. They're going to be constant. Now who's going to rise? But for Milwaukee, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, I get it. They're not the classic Kyrie Irving. But around Giannis, that should work. And that is why it is all hands on deck. If Milwaukee is in trouble, regardless. I don't see them coming back in this series. They can win a game tonight.
Win a game?
Fantastic.
You think they win tonight? I don't.
Not with the way they played in Game 2. I think they'll win one game in this series.
So you think it would be game 4 when they're down 3-0? Look, James Harden's still not going to play. They don't need. And by the way, I would sit James Harden until the next series. Yeah. What do I need James Harden for? I'm winning games by 40.
And so Milwaukee, you go right back to how do you maximize this? Like Giannis, you have shooters on the perimeter, so I don't need Giannis shooting. So I just look at his game and he's broken at the free throw line right now, but that's where he has to live. It's using his athleticism to attack the basket, dominate inside, and hit some free throws. And he's in a bad funk there. It's not working, and that is absolutely one that, if you're wondering who could be that next star player to join up with someone, where's Giannis going? Like, he's going to be at that point.
So I think Giannis, is he up this year? Is he a free agent, or can he opt out? The Giannis to the Knicks talk is going to get really, really big. Giannis is courted. At how long can he continue to do this? He's made Milwaukee relevant. They've been irrelevant for 2 decades. Where's the fit for him? Like Jeff, anywhere's a fit for him. Look how good he is. No, I got it. He needs to be with somebody. Is he up?
I'm efforting it right now.
New York? With Julius Randle?
To me, Julius Randle had a fantastic season. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's so frustrating about this Milwaukee team is I really thought they had the pieces around him. You got Chris Middleton, a shooter. You got the ball handler in Drew Holiday.
I know.
And it is a failure.
What if you put him in Atlanta? What if you put him in Dallas and get rid of Porzingis?
Yep.
What if you put him in Portland and get rid of Nurkic? I mean, I'm just throwing some scenarios at you, right? If Dame Lillard's so unhappy, what if they find a way to package McCollum and Nurkic and if Giannis is unhappy? Just throwing stuff at you. All right, when we get back, boy, that Garrett Cole thing. Maybe the worst answer in the last decade to a question. Maybe? I mean, honestly, to a press conference question. And then he got to face the guy who called him out. How'd that go? Let you know. That's coming up next. Stephanie's taking your calls at 505-246-0610. Aaron's putting us on television on ProView Networks. And you're listening to the radio on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
And that it was going to lead every sports show in America, talk shows on television and radio, on newscasts and everything else, that baseball and doctoring the baseball and Garrett Cole stumbling through the worst answer to a yes or no question in the history of, I mean, honestly, can you give me a worse one? Politics?
It was a bad answer, but what it told you is
yes,
that is indeed something I've been doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was. I kind of.
You didn't lie, at least.
It's Kamala Harris. Why haven't you been to the border? Well, I haven't been to Europe either. And well, okay, it's a little different, right? This was at least a yes or no question. Have you used monkey grip, or what's the stuff called?
Spider tack.
Spider tack. It's a yes or no question, right? I knew it wasn't monkey grip. I just couldn't remember it was Spider Tack. Have you used Spider Tack while pitching? Barf, barf, bleh, bleh, puke. I got to clean this up off of, well, I don't know how to answer that. Well, it's yes or no. Have you used it? So he was on the mound yesterday. And Josh Donaldson was the guy who was accusing him of it and his spin rate and the whole thing. And he struck out Donaldson twice yesterday and stared him down a little bit longer and said that his adrenaline was a little more up. But evidently his spin rates were down again. Is there just explain to me that, is there just a device that it's like a speed gun? How do you measure spin rate? Honestly, I don't think I know.
You're correct with a device.
There's a gun that just kind of, okay. All right. Where does this go? Because this isn't stopping. And obviously this is an issue, and I've heard, is it comparable to steroids? Is it comparable to the Astros thing? Is it comparable to Deflategate? Where does this land on the baseball cheating scale? Where does this land on the how is it affecting the game scale? Now you got Pete Alonso coming in, and their baseball is doctoring the baseballs to bring players' salaries down. Which, have you watched what players are getting paid, for crying out loud? I mean, Fernando Tatis signed a $340 million contract, for crying out loud. I'm not sure if they're keeping salaries down. They've never been higher, and they're not going down. But okay, so where does this conversation go? To me, it's two pronged. A, what are they going to do about it, and why did they decide mid-season to go do something about it? And B, I guess the macro on this, where do you put it in regards to the issues in baseball as far as steroids and juice balls and trash can banging and all that?
Well, they decided to do something now because more and more players are speaking out about it. And then you've got to really what felt like the breaking point with Josh Donaldson versus Garrett Cole, because those two were able to go right at each other on the field yesterday. This is, to me, it's similar to steroids in the aspect that you're not supposed to do it, but everyone was doing it, and everyone was already looking the other way. And I'm not naive. I know that whether it's college athletics, pro sports, there's recruiting violations, there's people skirting the edges, there's recording this, there's blocking that signal, etc. But at some point, can we just play baseball? Here's a baseball, you throw it, you try to hit it, and then you catch it. And here's a little rosin, you need the grip to throw it, fantastic. But it's always just a little bit over the edge. It's a Spider Tack, it's a pine tar, it's this. Just baseball. Can we just talk about a baseball game? Is it not good enough anymore just to be about baseball, or does it always have to be something else?
I guess part of the conversation that lost me is, well, it's safer if they put pine tar on, that they've got more control. All of a sudden they're throwing ice balls, like they can't control the ball, and we're the hit batter thing is where I got lost yesterday. I mean, honestly, do you need super glue on your fingers to be able to control the baseball? You're a professional pitcher. The baseball's not slick. They rub it down with the mud before the game. You're rubbing it down afterwards. You're putting some spit on the ball. Honestly, I've had thousands of baseballs in my hand. Not once did I've thought a lot of different things. You could feel the difference in the seams. I could show you, and it's funny. I was doing this at the house the other day. Now I don't know what year they're from, but I had a Pacific Coast League baseball, and I had a Major League Baseball, and you can tell a little bit of difference in the seams and how high the seams are on the ball. And okay, but of all the things that I thought when I've held a baseball, I've never once thought, wow, this is really slick. This is hard for me to grip. Now, I'm not a professional pitcher, but I'm really struggling with the argument. I've got to put super glue on my hand to not hit batters.
It's the way they kind of cover up, just saying it allows me to throw better breaking pitches.
Of course it does. Like steroids allows you to hit the ball farther.
What spin rate means is, well, fastballs, spinning, it's still going to be fast, but you throw that slider, you throw that curveball. It's
snapping more.
You're getting the breaks.
Yeah, it's unhittable. That's some of the and like Josh Donaldson said yesterday, look, man, if I was a pitcher, I'd want to be as nasty as I can too. I'd want every advantage that I could get and try to be as filthy and have as much spin on my ball as well. Yeah, I get it. But at some point, does it cross the line of legality and what's right? What's fair? What's legal within the rules of the game? That's where it is. Look, steroids, everybody was doing it. I've told you this a million times. I can't sit here and tell you that if I was in the 80s and 90s playing baseball and I was in a locker room and I was a marginal player and watching a guy stick a needle in his backside and he's making millions and if I do that, I'm also going to make millions and I can stay in the league. I was a marginal player, it's going to make me good, or if I'm a good player, it's going to make me better and it's going to make me millions more. I can't look you in the eye and tell you, yeah, I absolutely wouldn't have done it. It'd be great to sit here and ride my moral high horse and say I would do it. I can't tell you that if I was a minor leaguer that was brought up to the Houston Astros in the middle of the season and they had this sign stealing thing going on.
You're not stopping it. You're not.
I can't tell you that I would say, "Oh, guys, we can't do this. I can't participate."
And just like this.
It's just like this. Yeah. No, I can't tell you that if everybody else is putting super crazy glue loaded with copper tone and spit on the baseball and a piece of chewing gum, if they're all doing it, I can't tell you I wouldn't do it either. But now we're getting to a point where, okay, it's out. Just like the trash cans stop banging, just like dudes supposedly stop shooting themselves with all kinds of roids. At some point, to your point, can we just freaking play baseball? That's all. I'm not going to sit on my moral high horse and tell you I wouldn't. Oh, no, God, no, I wouldn't do it, because I can't tell you that. I mean, with all due honesty, can you look me in the eye and say, yeah, right?
I'm right there with you. It's one, I thought, like, we had enough to, all right, here's the, like you said, they rub down the baseballs, you have your rosin bag. So I figure, all right, there's enough, and you figure out the feel of a baseball as a pitcher. Now, without the players talking about it, none of us would have ever known. Well, the problem is we get caught up in baseball. Instead of tweaks, it's broken. Oh, we have to ban the shift. We have to stop hitting home runs, a launch angle. It's always the most dramatic thing.
Move the mound back a foot.
It's, the game is 6 minutes shorter, so the ratings are going to go up. Baseball is never not dramatic in the ways you don't want it to be.
Look, baseball's quirky, man. Baseball's a different game. There's no time clock. It can go for 5 hours. It can go for an hour and a half. All right, Pete Alonso, the Mets, is the next guy they put a microphone in front of to talk about this, and he disagrees with this whole crackdown on the foreign substances. Is a theory he's presented. He calls it fact. He said the biggest concern in baseball is that baseball is manipulating the ball year in and year out, depending on free agency class. He says, or guys being in advanced parts of their arbitration to basically keep salaries down. Here's what Pete Alonso, and he's a good player now, talking about the substances and what the pitchers are doing.
I don't care what they use. I mean, for me, I use pine tar when I go to hit. I have a lizard skin. I have batting gloves. Like, I have the most advantage when it comes to holding on my bat. So I wouldn't care, because on our on-deck bag, we have pine tar rag, a pine tar stick, like a special sticky spray, rosin. I mean, you name it, we have it. I mean, I wouldn't care if they had that behind the mound to help hold on to the ball, because when we start getting into these hotter months, guys start to sweat, and let's say if they lose a fastball arm side, I mean, we all saw what happened to Kevin Pillar, and that's scary. And we're lucky that he only had a broken nose, and I mean, it could be a lot worse depending on where it hits a guy. I mean, 100-mile-an-hour fastball, even though you're wearing a helmet, that's scary. So I'd rather have guys have as much stick as possible and focus on throwing the ball in the box as opposed to taking it away from them.
So there's something to that, right? And that's why the rosin bag's there, and that's why and he's not wrong in regards to, we're now in June, July, August, and you're playing in high humidity and your grip. I'm listening. And that's why the rosin bag. But the difference between, to me, all the stuff that you've got in the batters in the on-deck circle, that's all within the rules, right? You're allowed to use the pine tar and the sticky spray on the lower part of your bat underneath. It's within the rules, and they monitor that to some respect. You're not allowed to doctor the baseball. You're not allowed to put crap on the baseball.
Well, it's interesting, the player's perspective, because Pete Alonso is just kind of confirming the fact that, yeah, we all know this was going on.
That's right.
And we dealt with it. And I think it's definitely different. Like, Pete Alonso's a dude that in 2019 hit 53 home runs.
Yeah.
So, like, there are still players in this game that can hit a baseball very well and very far. So who is it frustrating the most? The Josh Donaldsons of the world that are nowhere near the player he was 5 years ago?
Maybe.
Or Pete Alonso that's kind of like, whatever, I'm still out here getting mine, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, maybe. So is Major League Baseball, according to Pete Alonso, right for cracking down on this?
Oh, absolutely not. I think that I don't think so, because for me, I think that since the start of the game, pitchers have been using substances. I mean, there's a bag of rosin behind the mound right now to help guys dry their hands and get grip. For me, I think whether they're using pine tar, rosin, bullfrog, or sunscreen and rosin, or whatever they want to use to help control the ball,
Gorilla Glue.
let them use it. Because for me, it's like I go in the box every single day and I see guys throwing harder and harder every day, and I don't want 99 slipping out of someone's hand because they didn't have enough feel for it.
Yeah, I guess he's super concerned about the control thing and guys getting hit. I mean,
Sounds like he just wants the ball somewhere around the plate and he's going to swing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He doesn't care, so not everybody cares. All right, you can get into that. It's fascinating to me. It really is, the perspective of which it's being played. And it's not done now. It's not done. And watching Garrett Cole go strike Josh Donaldson out twice yesterday on high fastballs, and stare him down for a minute. Well, a quick second. How about that? A quick second was interesting. And you can get in on that if you like. 505-246-0610. Give us a call, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Here at the Sports Animal, we can't help but notice more people are getting their COVID vaccine.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a... Oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
One owes the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
field at third base.
And he brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd.
Have a baseball thing, right? It's all about numbers. It's all about perspective. It's all about history. So where does it rank? And where I get it. There's been dead ball era and live ball era, but in a game where you can't hit a base, if a pitched ball hits the dirt, all of a sudden we're throwing the dang ball out. But yet it's okay to put what did he just tell me? Super glue with copper tone and pine. What are we doing? John, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, John.
Hey there. Thanks for having me on. If I could, I'd like to return to the Bucks topic.
Hit it.
I am biased being from Milwaukee, so take this with a grain of salt, but I have a bold prediction for tonight. I think the Bucks are going to win, and they really have to win tonight and Game 4, obviously. But my reasoning behind that is people say that Brooklyn dominated both games, and that's just not what I saw in Game 1. In Game 1, like Shaquille O'Neal said, the Bucks were punishing the Nets in the paint. They have more physicality, but they weren't dropping a lot of their shots. They had a lot of rust to knock off because of that break, because they had swept, in the first series of the tournament. So, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be much more physical. The Bucks have to come out like do or die. This could be their one of the last games of the season for them. So I think they're going to fight hard. And, it's probably going to go 7, in my opinion.
You think 7. All right.
Thanks for letting me share.
All right, John, appreciate it. So John's a Bucks fan. He, he didn't think that they got dominated in Game 1. I thought they kind of did, especially in the second half.
For Milwaukee, the key to this, too, is not overreacting. By the way, Giannis did sign that Supermax deal, so he's locked in for 5 years.
Okay.
It is, all right, this is a team you're going to have to beat. You're going to have to figure out how to play with them. But you don't want to blow up everything, because I still think you look at Milwaukee, if it was anyone other than Brooklyn right now, they're feeling okay. But you got to beat that team. You don't overreact to it. Keep tweaking around the edges. You got Giannis locked in. But the big thing is going to be, what is Giannis going to do? How is he going to assert his will in this series? Because he needs to be the unstoppable, unguardable force for Milwaukee.
Okay. I just don't see it. They could be good. They got to get through this team. And maybe, John, call us tomorrow if I'm wrong. And I think they're competitive tonight. I don't think they get beat by 40 tonight. I don't even know what the spread is. I think I'd be comfortable. If you wanted to give me Milwaukee in 4.5 tonight, I might be comfortable right about there. I'll look and tell you what the spread is here in a second. But, where would you be comfortable? What do you think the spread's going to be?
Is Milwaukee like a 1?
Milwaukee's a 3.5-point favorite.
Going back home.
I can't lay points if I'm with all due, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm glad to sit here tomorrow morning. Yeah. I'd love to see that become a series. I hope I'm wrong on this. But if you're asking me to bet that and take Milwaukee and lay 3.5, my eyes. I know what my eyes saw.
This would be the game to do it.
It's got to be.
This would be the game.
I just don't see it. Hey, I don't want to get deep into this. Saw the LeBron number change thing. If LeBron James retired right now, would the Lakers retire his number?
No.
No, right? So there's no way they retire 23, correct?
I don't.
So if he wins 2 more championships, maybe they retire number 6, but they don't. There's no way, right? Lakers retire. I don't know how many. I'll look it up. But I'm thinking there's. I want to say there's 8, right? It's like I think Wilt, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Gail Goodrich, I think James Worthy, Elgin Baylor, and there would be two numbers for Kobe. I may be missing something along the way, but Jerry West, Jerry West. Is LeBron's number? I mean, I don't know, what does he have to do to get his number retired by the Lakers? Because I think if you're telling me Cleveland retires,
time to do it.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. Do the Heat retire his number?
He'll be honored in Cleveland and Miami.
All right, so Lakers' retired numbers are 8 and 24 for Kobe, 13 for Wilt, 22 for Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich at 25, Magic's 32, Kareem's 33, Shaquille. I forgot about Shaquille's 34. I did say James Worthy, 42. Jerry West is 44. Forgot Jamal Wilkes, 52. So a lot of that Showtime Laker team, right? Magic, Worthy, and Jamal Wilkes. And then the Shaq, Kobe. And then, I mean, Gail Goodrich was great. Elgin Baylor was great. No. Just because he wants to change the number? I mean, I'm just curious. Is there a reason? He's just, I'm just changing. I'm going back to 6. We won with 6. Is it? I don't know.
I don't have more insight on that.
Yeah, right. I just saw it. I don't think it's a I started thinking about retired numbers. At 36, I agree with you. I don't think he is a Laker long enough and impactful enough. And I mean, if he wins 2 championships, he's going to win more than Wilt. He'll win more than Jerry West with the Lakers if he wins 2.
Mm-hmm.
That will. I mean, so to say, he had a hell of an impact though. But we'll see. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails come in. Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Gene says, Battle of Beatons tonight, Jeff. Something's got to give in Salt Lake City. The pillow fight of the PCL's 2 last-place teams, 12-7 Buzz, 9-21 Albuquerque. That's right. You get a big series. You got a chance to get healthy now. Huh? If you're Albuquerque's AAA club, they called me, I still up stuff. They got a chance to get healthy. 6 on they're away for 16 days now. They're not going to be home for 2 weeks. It's United's crib. It's United's crib for a while. See, they don't need their own stadium. They got their own stadium. Grass might even grow on the infield for a second. And who knows?
13-day road trip, 14-day road trip for this?
I think it's 16 days, right?
Days
6 with a day in the middle and a travel day. Yeah. Caitlin Ryden signing yesterday for extended contract. Big deal?
It is a big deal, and they just announced Amanda Moreno.
By the way, let me put it in context before I let you go on, because if those of you who don't know Caitlin Ryden, United defender who came over last year was his first year. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. It is a big deal because you don't see that multi-year deals in the USL Championship. A lot of these deals are one-year deals, and what we're seeing is United committing to at least 2 more years with Caitlin Ryden. Same thing for Amanda Moreno. Trying to establish their core for a while. Like I said, it's not something you usually see, but it's a route that they're taking right now to solidify pretty much the spine of their team.
Yeah, I think it's nice. You don't see it a lot, and it's obviously guys like playing here. I have no doubt that the organization treats the players well. I have no doubt that the fan support is as good as there is in the United Soccer League. And so if that's your level, and this is, I think it's a pretty good place to live. I have no doubt that guys are digging that, and that's why that's happening. So good on them, and that's some security going on. And you lost Chris Wehan, right? Who was a big piece of what you were doing previous. Do you feel that they've really missed him? What are they, 3-3-1 right now? 4-3-1?
They definitely did it early in the season.
Yeah.
He is an unbelievable player. Chris Wehan, he's one of those guys that I'm a fan of on and off the field, and there's no doubt that they've been successful offensively, but they've had to use multiple players to replace just this one man. And so Chris Wehan, they've been able to get by, but he is a special player at this level. And for him, he wanted to go back to California. Mm-hmm. He's been away from home a long time. He's a California kid that's who grew up there, but he came to the University of Mexico, spent 5 years as a Lobo, a couple that year with United, and his decision was just go back play in Orange County.
And that's where he is. All right, when we come back, I want to get into some NFL stuff. You got a all-pro or former all-pro running back trying to find a home. You got an injury in Cowboys camp to let you know about. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610.
F45 functional training. Do you want to be the MVP in your life? Well, let me tell you about F45 training. What F45 training is, it's high-intensity interval training in just 45 minutes. The classes are fantastic, and what I like about it, it is a new challenge each and every day. They dropped a new program last week, which involves different focuses each day of the week, so you're not going to just overwhelm one specific area of your body, because I said full body functional training. And the different sets, the tempos involved, the class setup is fantastic, and the programs are a lot of fun. And you can do it. Get yourself outside that bubble. Take that next step into F45. It is that challenge for people that feel they're in shape, or if you're looking to get in shape. It's a gym for absolutely everyone. That's what I enjoy about it is you walk in and you're not immediately just looking around going, oh my gosh, what is going on? You're there. It's a welcoming atmosphere. Everything is set up. Boom, monitors on the wall. There's a routine. Let's get it. And it's just going to cost you 45 minutes. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Take a look at the schedule of classes available. They have classes 7 days a week. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial on the app. Get in, check it out, experience it for yourself. And everything that I say, you're going to find out firsthand that F45 is the gym for you. And you're going to enjoy that new challenge that it brings you for your fitness. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
1-0 Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
where are you on this whole thing, on the baseball thing, on John called in, he likes the Bucks tonight. All right, make your call tonight. Richard Pitino and what he had to say yesterday, wherever you want to go. 505-246-0610. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The reality is here for college basketball with name, image, likeness being authorized, especially in this state. It's a rare opportunity for New Mexico to get ahead of the curve. And, there's those people that are always going to complain. It doesn't matter whether we had all 5-star players from New Mexico or we had all 5-star players from all over the country. There's always somebody that thinks that they have a better idea, yet they've never been in the fire. So they're entitled to their opinion, but Patino's doing exactly the right thing. You have to load up, and you have to see who can play. And really now what it's turned into is kind of glorified tryout because of the transfer portal.
I don't know that I've got a problem with that either.
I think that's what it's become, Jeff?
Yeah, but I don't know that I've got a big problem that it's a glorified tryout in some respect. Like
I have no problem. The SEC's been gray shirting guys for 100 years.
Yeah, I don't know that bothers me that much.
It doesn't, and I really hope that with this name, image, likeness thing, that maybe New Mexico can attract some more talent. But I saw a coach taking a shot at Pitino for not staying with King. Well, if you didn't recruit him, he doesn't fit in your system. All you're doing is doing that kid a disservice.
Well, that's absolutely right. First of all, that's absolutely right. If he doesn't fit into your system, everybody. All of a sudden, people who didn't know Jamel King's name 24 hours ago are now saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe you ran this kid off. He was going to be great." You didn't know who he was. I mean, he was another name on the roster that you needed to look up. And I wish the young man well. I don't know him. I never met him. Never talked to him. I've never seen him play. But if it doesn't work for what you're trying to do, and maybe it was the young man who decided. By the way, to JJ's point earlier, Rudy, you look around the country, and he would guess that 90% of incoming players, right? Not guys who are already there, but when there's a coaching change, what's the percentage who reopen their recruitment and opt to go somewhere else because the coaching staff who recruited them is no longer there and they're not comfortable? How do you know this is all on Pitino as opposed to on the young man?
Correct. And that's why I say, there's your side, my side, and the truth usually in every story. So what I'm confident in is that Richard and his staff are putting together the best possible team they can.
Yep.
They don't care where the players are from. I mean, look at what Bradbury's done. He's gone international. If that works out, everybody's going to think he's a genius. If it doesn't, he's a bum.
That's right.
And that's the nature of sports. But I really got a chance to sit down and talk to Eddie and Coach Gonzalez at a first-team function about really what they went through. And if people understood how close we were to losing the football program at UNM, so I keep telling people, buy your tickets. I hear a lot of, lip service about how I'm for the Lobos. So translate that into parting with some of your hard-earned dollars because you won't regret it. One thing that Rocky told me, and I believe this with all my heart, is that now these players understand exactly what these coaches want out of them, and they've been doing it without questioning them, without arguing with them, without fighting with them. And so when you have that kind of synergy, I'll tell you what, there's a guy, Dave Hamaker. I don't know if you remember that name, but his son, Hunter, is one of the better linebacking prospects in the country, not just here in the Southwest. And he's got a lot of offers, but his dad's leaning on him pretty hard to be a Lobo. And I hope he is because, God, wouldn't you love to play linebacker for Rocky?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of he's got a lot of linebackers into the league. Rudy, appreciate it. It's a great call. Let me tell you something. There's two things in what he was talking about, JJ, with level football. If they just shut this thing down, I told you at the time. First of all, I told you I didn't see a scenario where the state, the governor, would have said if everybody else is playing, we're not playing. I was wrong, right? She flat out came out publicly and asked/told New Mexico State to shut it down. New Mexico State shut it down. UNM didn't. They found a way to play. Basically against the governor's orders, demands, requests, whatever. Pick your word. I don't care. I firmly believed then, and I firmly believe now, that the damage would have been irreparable to that football program. Danny Gonzalez would if you shut down the program, you're showing me no support. And
he wouldn't be the head coach.
Texas and Oregon offer me $2 million to be their defensive corner. I'm gone. The players who are there, Terry, quarterback who transfers from Kentucky isn't here. You're rebuilding that program from scratch. You thought you were bad the last 5 years, you would have been worse. And so what they saved the program, and there's no doubt to me they saved the program.
And then even factor in, what does the Mountain West do at that point in time? Say, hey, the revenue that we were able to generate, you guys don't even get a piece of it.
Yeah, you don't get any of that. No. I mean, you don't participate, you don't get any of it. So, yes, that's bowl revenue, television revenue, CFP revenue, college football playoff revenue, that all comes out. You get none of it because you didn't participate. So it's like you don't go to work, you don't get paid. Same concept. So, and the other piece, and I've heard this a lot. I've heard this from the coaching staff, and I've heard it from a lot of other places now, where what he just said, the players now have a year under it, and the Vegas thing may end up being one of the biggest blessings in disguise, where they were away from their families and their friends and everybody for 7 weeks, but they were indoctrinated into this, and here's that word again, culture. What does this coaching staff expect? How will it be done? And I hadn't heard this. Eddie Nunez was in studio at 8 o'clock this morning. And he said one of the reasons that he fought so hard was because the seniors said, we will control this. We are gonna police this. We want to play. Here's what we're gonna do. And the leadership on that team rose to the top, took control, and that's a risk on Eddie's part. But by every account, it paid off. And so it's a long way of saying what happened in Vegas last year could end up paying dividends for this team moving forward in regards to culture, buying in, the unity, that all those football things that you know, the chemistry pieces to it. Now, talent's talent. You have to have talent, and I think they've got better talent than they have. But all of those things is what Rudy was just saying.
Yeah, there is a way to spin this into a positive, especially for at women's basketball. You just won a regular season conference championship.
No doubt.
And so you now bring that back to the table and say, hey, we overcame those challenges. Well, guess what? Now we get to play at home. We get to practice. We get to get going. And you try to find the positives in it. And for football, I think a big advantage, though, too, is they were able to have a home base.
No doubt.
I think that was huge.
They
and you're
knew
not,
where they were
you're
for
not
the
dealing
entire,
with 3-4 months of it.
Yeah.
But, yes, it definitely set a tone that all those sports cliches, you want to put foundation, etc., for this program moving forward.
Just the messaging that was coming out of football as opposed to basketball. And this is nothing against the former coach, okay? But football said, whatever you're going to do, and to your point, they had a better situation. Inarguable better situation for football. They had one place, they had a home stadium. I use air quotes. They had a home base. Basketball was bouncing around the uncertainty. We're going to be home this weekend. Oh, we're not. The state's not opening to this point. We can't play at home. They were in Texas. They were in Utah. They were I get it. But football said we're making a positive out of this, and we're not using excuses, and we're going to go. And basketball was, I don't know if we really want to be here. And whether it was said in those words, the message absolutely for the entirety was, I don't know that we want to be doing this. I don't know that we want to be playing. Some kids don't want to play, and they weren't very good.
Yes, that's a big part of it too. Not just the challenges, but they were not very talented last year. Now, speaking of football programs, it was New Mexico State, them not being affiliated with a conference. It hurt not playing football? But did that allow them to handle it a little bit better because they didn't have the pressures, or we're going to be missing out on this if we don't play?
So they didn't have as many options, right? They didn't have as many games to play. Everybody on their schedule, I think everybody
pretty much went all conference. Yeah.
Went all conference games. So it's not like I don't think they had
and they
a
don't
choice.
Have the cachet of BYU that can still put together a schedule.
So they could have maybe done that or sat around and been everybody's filling. When a game fell out, call New Mexico State. Oh, there's COVID. Our opponent can't play. Let's call New Mexico State. I guess they could have gone that route. But everybody on their schedule, when they pulled the plug, was playing only conference games. And UMass shut down. And I think they're playing UMass twice, right? Home and home, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. So they could have played Liberty. They could have played Brigham Young. But they couldn't have played New Mexico. They couldn't have played UTEP. All of those other schools were just playing conference games. So it does feel a little different. I think it put them back, and obviously you saw what happened in spring football, right? And I think there's a potential it could be a tough year for them, right? But I think, to your point, I do think it's different. A, they didn't walk away from any TV money because there was none, and they had no schedule. Where for New Mexico, here's your schedule. Here's where you're playing. Now, they'd have been walking away from that, screwing up everything the league had going, screwing up that whole schedule. So it is different. Ray, stay there. We're going to take this final break and come back and hear what you have to say. 505-246-0610. We're on ProView Networks on 95.9 FM and AM 610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Center.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Crazy, doesn't it? 505-246-0610. Come on in as we get you close to it. Endgame for New Mexico State, Jeff. For decades, they drifted between conferences. The independence was a big stop. I'll get you into that. Read you that whole email from Bruce when we get after we listen to Ray, because Ray's been holding for a while. Hello, Ray.
What's up, Jeff?
How you doing?
Hey, I was going to say, the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to sweep Milwaukee. And like you said, if you're betting, man, they're 5-1 against the line. He's been easy money for them so far, and I think they're going to end up sweeping Milwaukee. And one other question: I know, have you heard of any promotions for the local football? I know every year before this, we would get our tickets through Albertsons, like $125 with groceries. They give you 2 adult tickets, 2 children's tickets for the year. And I was wondering if they were going to have that. I'd like to get that before I buy my season tickets.
I don't know the answer. So Ray, I've not heard of them. That doesn't mean that there aren't any. I will put out an inquiry and try to get you an answer for tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, for you. Yeah, just because I haven't heard of them doesn't mean that they're not there. So I don't know the answer. All right, New Mexico. So you asked about New Mexico State. And Bruce says, what's the end game for them? For decades, they drifted between conferences. Then independence was a stopgap to get into another conference. Are the Aggies any closer to that? In my opinion, if anything, they're further away than ever. Next time there's conference realignment, I don't think that automatically means expansion. There might be contraction in some cases. If I'm right, there are going to be other clubs looking for a soft landing spot, all of them more appealing than Fearless Dougie's guys. So now they're hoping for a bunch of FCS programs move up and create a new league. Does a conference with Dixie State and Southern Utah really excite Aggie fans? With no season in 2020, why does this program still exist? It's from Bruce. I think the end game now is the WAC. So what you're saying, Dixie State and Southern Utah and Lamar and Stephen F. Austin and those programs that have joined the WAC, formed the WAC. I think the end game is hopefully by, what do you think, 2025? That's a division, an FBS league. And I look, they wanted to be in the Mountain West. They want to be in Conference USA. Hell, they'd go back to the Sun Belt. For whatever reason, they've not gotten that opportunity. Bruce, are they any closer to that? I don't know that they are. What's going to happen if the playoff expands? Is that going to trigger any conference realignment? You had heard the noise about Boise State and the American, and I think there's always chatter. The end game at this point, they try to get in one of these existing leagues, and if that doesn't happen, they ride it out probably 3 or 4 more years until the WAC, I think, goes FBS. That's no inside stuff. That's just my perspective.
Reading the tea leaves, and when the WAC made the announcement that they're putting together football, that's I think where everyone's thoughts went. Is all right. Do the Aggies just join it now and go along for the ride, or wait to see if those?
No,
teams
there's no
can
reason to
make it?
drop down and then come back up. You're already up.
Yeah. So that's ride it out and see what happens. 20, 24, 25, around there, and where those schools are when it comes to FBS football.
Yeah, I guess, Bruce, I don't know. I mean, is it exciting? Does Dixie State? I'm going to tell you being the WAC, those Texas schools, it's Lamar and Abilene Christian and Stephen F. Austin, right? Who else am I missing in there? There's like 7 Texas schools in there. Sam Houston. I would tell you, are those schools any less appealing than the Sun Belt schools when you play Georgia Southern and Arkansas State? And I mean, some of the Sun Belt schools, are they any less or more appealing? I'm going to guess for Aggie fan, they might be more appealing, just regionally. And on a national basis, with all due respect to what's going on in the Sun Belt, if you're a Big Ten football fan, you're a Michigan fan, or you're a Pac-12 fan, and you're an Oregon fan, does New Mexico State playing Georgia Southern sound any different to you than New Mexico State playing Sam Houston?
It does not.
It doesn't. And so if the WAC gets to that point, you ask, what's the end game? I think that's the end game. I think that's it. And as far as basketball, would you like to be playing New Mexico and San Diego State and Nevada in a league? Yeah, and I think you can compete in that league on a yearly basis. We've seen that. But right now you're playing UTRGV and you're playing Seattle and you're playing Utah Valley. Does it sound any different than playing Lamar and Stephen F. Austin and Southern Utah? To me, it doesn't. In fact, I think it's an upgrade to go to that new WAC.
It is.
So if that helps, Bruce, there's the end game. Why does it exist? They're obviously it's benefiting the university. They're continuing to try to make this thing work. Look, it's hard. It's been hard down there for the 25 years I've been here. And I think it's been hard longer than that. It's a tough place. And then floating around as an independent makes it tougher. Now, we've talked to Doug about a number of times. The opportunity, you got a schedule. Hey, I can recruit a kid, and look, we're playing at UCLA, and we're playing at Alabama, and we're playing BYU, and we're going to Fresno State or whatever. I don't know. Is that more attractive than playing a Sun Belt schedule? Maybe it is. Now, you're not playing for a league championship. You're trying to win 6 games and get to a bowl game.
As long as you got Division I scholarships to offer, keep grinding.
Yeah. I mean, do you think I'm wrong on that? As far as the perspective, just how I see
I'm not big on selling the schedule that way. Like, in terms of that being a big recruiting piece.
Yeah.
It's like, I get to go to lose by 50 at Florida.
Yeah, but I get to go play at Florida. Opposed, I mean, I don't know. You want to go play? I don't know. Look, I sell what I got. Yeah. That's what I got. I got to make what I've got.
I think you sell the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to get you players. Hey, you get to come here, and we're going to travel to Florida. Final score is going to be 70-10.
Come on, man. It'll only be 56-10. I sell what I got. I sell opportunity to compete against the best. We're going to UCLA, and we're going to Florida. And next year we're going to Minnesota, and we're going. I mean, and we got 2 rivalry games that our fans really care about. And that's what I got. Got an opportunity to play football. And let's make the most of it. So that's why, Bruce. That's why they're still playing. All right, tonight you get 2 games in the NBA. Clippers and Utah will be the late game. Clippers down 1-0. I thought they controlled most of that first game, and then Donovan Mitchell took over in the second half. Big night for the Clippers, and even bigger for Milwaukee. They are home, trailing 2-0 against Brooklyn in the East. That's a 5:30 start for you. And we had John call in. He's a Bucks fan, and he said, "All right, it's Bucks night." You also get this big Euro soccer stuff going on, huh?
Yeah.
Today.
Euros, fun tournament if you're a soccer fan. Of course, unable to play it last year. Back at it. All the top teams in Europe. The national teams going head-to-head.
All right. Thanks to Eddie Nunez, the athletic director at the University of New Mexico. Not only did he stop by in studio today, Steph.
Brought us coffee.
He brought us coffee.
I know, it was delicious.
Appreciate him coming by today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. Sports Bar with Trulio and Carlisle. More local talk this afternoon at 4. Isotopes at Salt Lake City tonight. Josh Sushan will crack the microphone with the pregame show at 6:15. And then I believe the 4 of us, Aaron, Steph, we're all coming back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.-ish.
Yes,
More
sir.
award-winning radio and television coming your way tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Enjoy the day.
Abdale.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We shall smell you tomorrow.